Hey guys, it's Ryan here on the Syntax Byte. In this video I have something a bit different for you guys. So I wanted to take a look today at the online website testing, I guess, service called UserTesting. And what this service is it basically allows you to earn $10 for about every 15 to 20 minute video session you do testing websites, apps, and programs on their website. So companies can sign up and send out tests. You usually do a survey to see if you qualify, although there's a few tests that come in, and if you get to them fast enough, anyone can do them. And yeah, you just basically go through you trying to complete tasks on the website, and you get paid $10 US for it. So I've been using this service for since about like February of 2018, so we're at the end of November now. So it's been about a year for me, just a little bit less, and overall it's been pretty successful. For me, it definitely is legit, and I will get to the payment proof in a second on PayPal. But I just kind of wanted to talk about it for a little bit, let you guys know about it if you didn't know about it, and maybe if you're kind of wondering if it's worth it, I'll have the answer to that question for you. So, just having a look at the homepage here, it does say that you could earn up to $60 per test, although the standard pay for a test is $10. They do have some tests where you can do like a live conversation that's a bit longer and get paid. Usually it's $30 for them. Unfortunately, I've never qualified for one of those ones, so I can't really speak to that experience, but I have done a number of the just regular tests, and they usually do take about 20 minutes. I've had a lot that are actually a little bit quicker to complete, like 10-15 minutes, and you still get the same $10. So regardless of how long it takes, it's the same $10. But I have also had ones that take about half an hour, so it can vary quite a bit depending on the time. So yeah, that's the basic premise around it. You come onto a website like this, they would give you a task to complete, and you try to complete the task, and you narrate your thoughts while you're doing it. So you say, if it's like book a flight, you would say, okay, well, I'm looking for the button that would show me how to enter this information. I'm looking to do this. I'm trying to get to the next screen. I'm confused because it's telling me there's an error and I don't understand why. That sort of thing. Basically all you need is a computer. You'll need a microphone. You need to speak English, and you must be at least 18 years old. So that's basically the gist of it. They have their own software that you can download on your computer, and you get paid via PayPal. So, talking about getting paid via PayPal, is this legit, and do I have payment proof? Absolutely, it is legit. And here is my payment proof right here. So here's my PayPal activity. You can see most of it has been just receiving funds from UserTesting. I actually bought a domain the other day, so that's what this Namecheap thing is. And I will go ahead and refresh the page so we know that there's nothing sketchy, no inspect element magic here. These payments actually did come into my PayPal, $10 USD each. So like I said, if you're in the US, obviously that just means $10 to you. If you're outside of the US though, getting paid in US dollars is nice because if you're buying stuff in your home currency, that often means you're getting paid like $12. So for me, $10 USD to Canadian dollars, that's like $13. If you're in Australia, if you're in Australia, that would be about $13 as well. Obviously, if you're in Europe, it's going to be a little bit less than 10 euros, so that's about 8.8 euros. At the time of this video, of course, exchange rates do vary, but it is nice that you do get paid in US dollars regardless of whether you're located in the world. So it's not like Canadian testers or Australian testers are going to earn less money. You'll get paid in US dollars, same as US testers, which is really nice. Alright, so now that we have the payment proof out of the way, you're probably wondering, okay, how much did I earn over the course of the year? And earnings can vary a ton, but I've actually earned $100 since I did my first test at the start of March. So this is my test. This is all the tests I've done. I've done 10 of them. 10 times 10 is $100. So I've earned $100 US. Obviously, that'd be about 130 Canadian dollars for me, so that works out pretty nicely. It's definitely varies. You can see here, so I did 2 tests in March, 2 tests in April, then I didn't get a test till July, then I didn't get a test till September, and I did 2 tests there. Then I did 2 tests in October, and I've done 1 in November so far, but we still have a little bit of time left in the month. Maybe I'll get another test. So it seems to average out for me at around 2 tests per month, but there was pretty much that break in the summer where I only got 1 test, so that was a bit unfortunate. And the biggest thing is just that tests come in, and there's screeners for them. More often than not, you're not going to be the demographic that they're looking for. Often they're looking for someone who's employed in a full-time situation in a certain area of a company. And the unfortunate thing is a lot of the screeners don't seem to use your data in my profile. So I still get a lot of screeners that ask me, are you employed? And I enter my information, and they kick me out and say you're not qualified, which they could have known easily from my profile. So that's unfortunate. I've also gotten tests that ask, do you know how to speak Mandarin? In my profile, it says I don't know how to speak Mandarin. So again, you just get an easy kick out right there. I don't speak Mandarin. So that is one thing you got to keep in mind with this service, is that the tests are super variable as to how often they come in. There's no real guarantee of income. And like I said, I've earned about $100 over the course of about 10 to 11 months-ish on this service. So definitely you can earn like a steady $10 to $20 a month. Those videos on YouTube saying, well, you're going to earn $30 an hour with this service. Yes, theoretically, they're 20-minute tests, and you could do 3 of them in an hour, but you just won't qualify for that many tests on the service, unfortunately. And you do pretty much need to be sitting down ready to go when the test comes out, or someone will get to it before you. There seems to be a lot of testers on this service, so it doesn't take very long for them to collect all the responses if it's a pretty vague demographic. Obviously, there's certain tests that seem to sit there for a long time. Like one time there was one where you needed to have a VR headset. I imagine most users on this website don't have a VR headset, so that one took quite a while. But for the most part, tests won't be available for the taking for much more than maybe a few minutes, just because it's very quick to get testers if the demographic is pretty vague. But some tips and tricks to get more tests. One thing I would recommend is turn off them emailing you. If they send you emails about tests, half the time you still don't qualify for the test. It's no different than it appearing on the website. And sometimes you click the test in the email and the test has already had all its responses collected by the time you get to it. My email reaction time is not fast enough for this service, so it's just a waste in my inbox. So I would recommend turning that off. Given that, how do you actually put yourself in a position where you can get tests? My recommendation is, you see I have my browser open here, and UserTesting is just this icon. There's no title bar. That's because I've pinned it in Firefox. So if you right click on the tab, you can see it says unpin tab, but normally right here it would say pin tab. And I think there's the same feature in Chrome. And so every time I open up my browser, it automatically opens that tab in the background, and it's on the side there for me. Then when tests come in, it will beep. That's just a feature of UserTesting. And Firefox usually puts a little light here notifying me that the page has changed. There's an update to the page, and I can go check it out. And then that's how kind of I know when tests come in. So when I'm sitting at my computer, I'm doing my web browsing, I can see tests come in and do the screeners for them. Like I mentioned, there's not a lot of tests. You end up doing screeners and you don't get through. I do probably like at least 20 to 30 screeners a month, and I maybe get like 1 test. They're often super specific. Have you used this app in the past week to do this? And if the answer is no, then you're kind of SOL. So yeah, that's kind of one of the things. You definitely aren't going to be getting a ton of tests, but it does kind of depend on the individual and what you do for work and that sort of thing. So at the end of the day, I guess it comes down to, would I recommend signing up for this service? And I would absolutely say that yes. Even though I haven't made a ton of money on this service over the past little while that I've been on it, it also doesn't take me a lot of time. I just leave it open in the background. I do the test screeners, from time to time, and I get tests, right, over time. So getting $10 for 20 minutes of work, for most people, probably if you're watching this video, is going to be worth it to you. Obviously, I understand that if you're super rich, getting $10 for 20 minutes of work is definitely a waste of your time. But if you're someone who's really interested in making money online, this is pretty easy work. It doesn't take a lot of time to kind of manage your presence on the service, and you do get paid a sizable amount per test. Like, when you think about it, you do get paid $30 per hour. You just can never work very long on this service. I've probably cumulatively worked about like 3 hours on this service over the past year. So yeah, overall, I would totally recommend it. You do have to download their software onto your computer, which isn't a big deal. It's just their screen recorder and software that guides you through the tests. I have had a couple of issues with their software where tests weren't working for me, so that has been super unfortunate because I don't get paid for the tests, but I do have to report that it wasn't working. And yeah, overall, guys, I would totally recommend this service. Just keep in mind kind of what the pay rate is and think if that's worth it for you. If it is, it's super easy to get past their initial tester phase as long as you keep speaking your thoughts out loud, have a good clear voice, and have all the requirements necessary. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed the review. Peace out.